Man, got that out the way. Whew. Hey, what's up, y'all? So we back with another episode today. If you haven't seen any other previous episodes, please go down, link in description. Check out some of the episodes that are already up. If it's not in the description, then hey, I forgot. Just go to my page. Just go to my page. Check out some of the other episodes on there. We got some pretty good information that you guys can utilize. Some self-help tips, some tips about diet. So go ahead and check those out, man. But today, if you can't tell, we about to talk about cars and repairs. So, number one thing that a lot of people neglect when purchasing a car is the routine maintenance. A lot of people viewing this right now might sound foreign to you guys. What is routine maintenance? I don't know what that is. Routine maintenance? Some of you might know that you might say, hey, tire rotation, alignments, oil change, air filter, cabin air filter. Yes, that's part of routine maintenance, but that's not all of it. Okay? Routine maintenance, you think along the lines of what I just mentioned and what you're thinking it is. So filters getting replaced, fluids getting changed. That's considered routine maintenance. So it's not just your oil change. It's your brake fluid. It's the fuel system tune-up. So that's cleaning out your fuel injectors, the fuel rails, along with your fuel lines. That's treatment that they add to the gas tank and that they feed through your fuel injectors along with the fuel rail to clean out any debris that could have built up between the first 30,000 miles, 60,000 miles, 90,000 miles, so on and so forth. All right, transmission fluid change, power steering fluid change if you have an older car, so 2010 and older. Some cars superseding 2010, they have power steering fluid too, but a lot of the cars 17 and up are probably going to have electronic power steering. Okay, what else? Differential fluid change, transfer case fluid change. All of these are considered routine maintenance. These are items that need to get done within the interval specified by the manufacturer. Okay, now to sum all of this up so it doesn't wreck your brain, a lot of these fluid changes are on 30,000 mile intervals. Some of you have fancy cars, German engineered or Asian engineered vehicles that will tell you when these intervals pop up. A lot of Toyotas that service maintenance light or maintenance required soon, that light will pop on. And a lot of people will take into their mind that, hey, look, that's just tire rotation oil change. Not necessarily. When you get higher up past 30,000 miles, that light's also on for what? Brake fluid, fuel system tune-up, and power steering. The light comes on for more than just one. But when you go to the dealership, if you go into a dealership that actually keeps up with the maintenance intervals of your vehicle, they will tell you about the additional services that are required. Okay? Now, filters, fuel filter, that should be replaced too. Within the first 30,000 miles. What does the fuel filter do? It filters out any debris that you're going to get from that gas pump. Everybody's not going to a premium gas station or going to a gas station where, they keep those tanks underneath the ground clean, free of debris. When you're going to a gas station, this is something that you can utilize. When you're going to a gas station of heavy traffic every day, all day, more than likely, that gas station is going to have cleaner tanks. Why? Because gas isn't sitting in those tanks down there, eating away at the materials, the paint, and things like that inside of the tank. Also, you got to think of when that gas comes to the gas station, the tank that truck is using. So if you're getting gas, if that gas is getting replaced religiously, and you can see that maybe 1 or 2 trips out of the week, every time you go there, they're putting new gas in, it's a good gas station to go get gas from. Okay? Now, I'm not going to say that's 100% true, but that's what I go by. I never had any fuel issues. Okay? fuel gets pretty scary as the repairs go up and up and up as far as your bills. Okay, now let's just say you don't pay that close attention to the gas station. All right, well, you can easily go on Google and see what the top tier gas stations are. A lot of people will say BP, Shell, Speedway, Thornton. Those are like 4 of your top ones, right? And how do you know that? Well, you could tell, 1, where they get their gas from. 2, a lot of sponsored gas stations or gas stations that sponsor events are considered big gas stations. Speedway has their own track, so they're into a lot of racing. They're car enthusiasts. So when you go to Speedway, you know, that's why you see your E85s, you see your 87, 89, 93. But some gas stations have 91. Higher the octane, the better the fuel for your vehicle, right? You go to BP. BP has what? 93. Some BPs will have 91. It all depends on, you know, if it's a franchise owned, corporate owned, individually owned, things like that. All right. You go to Shell. Shell 93. Thornton 93. E85 diesel. You know, these bigger high-end gas stations have better gas. And a lot of people go there. Yeah, the prices might not be the most affordable, but don't look at price. You didn't buy that car because you were trying to save money on gas. I hate when people say that, because that's not true. You can't save money on gas by buying a cheaper vehicle, because when you buy that vehicle, it's not going to determine if the gas prices are going to be $4 a gallon. That's going to change. You know, you might need to rethink if you're buying a vehicle, if you're buying it to save gas. Because if you're going to save gas, that's fine. You're not going to save money on gas. Let's get that out of our head. Saving gas and saving money on gas are 2 different things. All right? Now, dabbling past the fluid, fuel system cleaning, let's get back to the other fluids that need to be changed. These fluids, if they're not changed, guess what they cause? Major repairs. Major repairs being mechanical failures. Okay, all of your mechanical failures stem from fluid. Don't let nobody tell you different. All of your mechanical failures stem from fluid. What does the fluid do? It helps keep things cool. Then you have hydraulic systems on a car where that fluid acts as an actual part. It assists with pistons moving in and out. Okay? If that fluid's dirty, full of water, debris, guess what's going to happen? You have small seals within that system that carries that fluid and moves the fluid, which is considered a pump. You have small seals in there. And when debris and that fluid breaks down, it starts to eat at those seals, cause the seals to crack, dry rot, and then guess what happens? You develop a leak. Fluid starts to leak out, and then guess what happened? You're not paying attention to it, because the most common leak out here is an oil leak. So what you're going to do, you're going to go to a Jiffy Lube, you're going to go to one of those quick service lanes, repair facilities, and be like, hey, look, I seen something in my driveway, looks like oil. Well, guess what they're going to look? Yeah, you might be right, because majority of the fluids are oil-based or have some type of oil in it. So you're technically correct. But when you go there, their mindset is going to be, oh, it's oil from your oil change. So they're going to look for that. And then anything dark that they see, any dark oil, they're going to see, which could have accumulated the oil mixing with debris that you drive over, which made the color dark. They're going to look for that. They're going to be like, oh, okay. Well, yeah, you're leaking oil, but we can't figure out where. Let's put an oil dye in there. Then you drive around, you come back a week, and guess what? You're not leaking oil. They still can't find it because the dye haven't presented itself yet. So then what happens now? You didn't invest it into that $39 to $100 for an oil dye test, and that's not the problem. So now you have to go to the next system. Now let's just say you go to a better shop, and they're like, all right, well, it looks like you have oil residue all over your power steering pump. So we'll have to do a dye test on that to make sure that it's not coming from a line. You see, as the money pile up, just to troubleshoot that one major repair that could have been gone wrong, routine maintenance, it always starts with that. Another thing that's part of routine maintenance is coolant. Say it with me one more time. Coolant. Just because you don't have an engine light on or your coolant level didn't go past halfway doesn't mean your coolant doesn't need to be replaced. All right? Coolant needs to be replaced every 30,000 miles. A lot of these fluid replacements are on the same intervals. Get them done. That's gonna make your vehicle last a lot longer. It will prevent major repairs. Now, when you get past 80,000 miles, you start to get to those 6-digit numbers, then that's when you're gonna get into a few major repairs. To me, they're not considered major because one of them you might think is costly, but it really isn't. Spark plug replacement. Depending on the size of engine will depend on how many spark plugs you need. Now, I can definitely contest to 60% of the vehicles out here being 4 cylinders. So, guess what? You have 4 spark plugs. Roughly range price to replace those anywhere between, depending on what shop you go to, anywhere between $150 to $450, depending on what all needs to be replaced. Some intake gaskets need to be replaced to get to the spark plug, so that makes your price go up. Okay, later on down the line from there, around that 150 to 200,000 miles, you're gonna need that timing belt inspected and replaced. You're gonna need that timing chain, depending on what vehicle that you have. You're gonna need that inspected. Whether or not you need it replaced would be determined based off of the noise that the technician hears when the engine is running. Okay, those are your major repairs. But you know what make those components go out faster? You guessed it. Routine maintenance, the fluid. Why aren't we paying attention to the fluid? Right? Why aren't we changing it? Let's focus on getting those routine maintenances under control, knocking them out at the intervals, putting money aside. You know, 30,000 miles is technically 2 years. Or 2.5 years, depending on how many miles you're doing. On average, a person with a car does 12 to 15,000 miles a year. You got 2 years to put up money to get that fluid replaced. Let's manage it better. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. If you want any more information on mechanical repairs or routine maintenance, feel free, comment below. Let me know what you want to hear, topics you want me to touch on, and we'll make it happen for you. All right, y'all have a good one. Peace.